This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of the Still a Man podcast. Tonight's topic is Generation X more homophobic than Generation Z and Generation Y. Let's get right to it. All right, before we get started, I just want to put a disclaimer on this. The views of the panel participants are their views and their views alone. They no way reflect the views of the Still a Man platform. And that being said, let's get started. Now, let's get some definitions out here so we can stay in context when we're speaking. So, let's see. Does anybody know what the definition is for homophobic? Anyone?
Maybe somebody that's not accepted or viewed as differently, or that have, I don't know. I'm just taking a guess at it.
All right, Patsy, you want to take a gander at it? You want to tell us what you think homophobic is?
Not accepting someone who's gay, transgender, somewhere in the LGBTQ spectrum.
I cheated. You're right, Patty. It says having or showing a dislike of or prejudice against gay people. So you're right. Yeah. You're on the right path.
Exactly.
Well, forget it. I can't answer that because you already answered the way I was going to answer it.
I cheated out of the dictionary.
There's nothing wrong with that. Get your knowledge. Get your knowledge.
Exactly. But basically, it's like a term, pretty much the same thing,
Okay, so that's what I wanted. I wanted a formal definition of it. Thank you, Deli. And if you still got that lovely book open, can you scroll down a little bit and find a formal definition for homosexuality? Or homosexual, excuse me, homosexual.
The quality or characteristics of being sexually or romantically attracted exclusively to people of one's own sex or gender.
All right. Now that we got that out the way, now let's get down to discussion. Everybody knows what it is, and we're going to talk to it within that context. So everybody stay within those definitions. All right. If you don't got nothing nice to say, keep it to yourself. Now, just so you know, we may or may not get a representative of the
we don't need him.
Let me finish saying what I'm saying. I invited a card-carrying member of the LGBTQ plus community, and I didn't hear back from them, so I decided to move ahead with the discussion. The show must go on. So if he comes in, then we can ask him the questions. But if he doesn't, we'll just keep it going. We'll do what we always do. We'll still stay afloat. All right. The reason why this topic came up is because I was talking to my daughters. I do that often. And we was having a conversation, and they've told me on numerous occasions. Now, I'm gonna let y'all guess what generation they're from. But they told me that I am homophobic. Not only am I homophobic, I was told that everybody born in my generation are homophobic. And in turn, I told them, I don't think that I'm homophobic. I just don't agree with everything that their generation agrees with. I don't champion every plight that their generation chooses to support and defend. It almost seemed like I was having a conversation trying to explain myself away when you get a racist person and they say or a prejudiced individual appearing, they say, I'm not prejudiced, I'm not racist, some of my best friends are black, some of my best friends are white. It was like one of those conversations. So I found myself explaining or stating to them, you know, I'm not homophobic. There are homosexuals in our family. We have friends that are homosexuals. I grew up with people that practice the gay lifestyle in my neighborhood, in the community. I went to school with people that you know was a part of that community. Dave was a part of that community before it became popular. So I'm talking about back in when I was in high school, late 80s, mid 80s and to the 90s. And so it wasn't as glorified in as it is now. Today it's more popular. It's the popular thing to do. It's the in thing. It's a part of, they are the in crowd. The LGBTQ plus community is the existing in crowd. They are, some people might say, they are the top. They are the top of the food chain. You guys tell me.
All I want to know, when the hell they going to run out of letters that they keep on adding letters to it?
Well, I think, well, we're going to learn about that tonight. We're going to learn about
Hey, Dave. Hey, Dave.
what's going on.
Dave. I got a Generation Z and two generation alphas. And I'm telling you, by the time they get to an alpha, it's going to be a whole different world.
So let me ask you this question.
Cousin Gina's in the house too.
So who's in the house?
Gina.
What's going on, Gina? All right, so you guys have to turn your mics on so you can be heard. So
Maria's in the house too.
All right,
Please,
so
sorry.
Uncle D, I'll be right back.
all right, so guys, this is what I want y'all to do, because we do something a little different tonight. Unless you guys choose not to do. Just announce yourself when you get ready to speak, so you know people know who you are, so they can get familiar with your voice, because a lot of us are not showing our profile. We are using avatars. So if you want to use your names, let's do it. You guys know I call people by their names, their first names. I won't call you by your last name, but I will call you by your government name, just so nobody feels offended. But for this show and this show alone, if you choose to be referred to as an alias, because of whatever reason you want to remain unknown, then let me know before I start addressing you by your government. So how would you like to be referred to tonight?
My name is Elijah Apple Carpenter Jr. I would be called Apple or APPLE.
All right, so you know I'm gonna call you either Elijah or EC. So which would you prefer for tonight?
APPLE or
okay,
Apple.
So we're gonna I'm gonna ask you the question. So have you ever been accused of being homophobic?
Yes.
Recently or past?
Pass.
Was it by a male or a female or a group of those?
Both.
What was the situation? What brought about this comment?
I used to bully them. I used to rob them. I used to disrespect them, and most of all, I used to just really just looked at them like they was nobodies.
Hmm. Okay. Let me go get a lady's point of view. Patsy, have you ever been accused of being homophobic?
No,
Okay. Tanya, have you ever been accused of being homophobic?
No.
Kiana, have you ever been accused of being homophobic?
I'm gonna go by Duchess, and no, I have not.
All right, Duchess has not been sorry about that. I should have asked you.
That's fine. I don't care. I don't care either way, but
Deli,
yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine.
Deli,
I
have you ever
No,
been,
not for me. No.
Gina?
No, I have never been accused of that.
Maria.
She's on mute.
Maria, you gotta turn your mic on.
She probably ain't near the phone.
All right, we'll come back to her. So let's get the guys. Robert, have you ever been accused of being homophobic?
Let me do you one better. You formerly known me as Mr. Adopt, Robert Bremich Brewington, but you can call me moving forward every time on this podcast, Mr. Great I Am. And no, I haven't never been accused of being against the gays.
So I'm gonna leave that to the rest of you, the rest of the panel members to decide what you want to call him. Timmy, have you
one great I am.
Timmy, have you ever been accused of being homophobic?
Certainly not. But I do know that back when I was coming up, we used to just can pick out people just by the way they talk or they move in their hand like the chick. We pick them out like that.
Stay right there. Stay right there. Stay right there. We're gonna come right back to you. Just hold that thought. Keep that same energy. Sean, have you ever been accused of being homophobic?
Yes.
Past, present?
In the past, because I had a problem with the public display and it being everywhere, and so I would have something to say, but I mean it would be within my circle, and so they called me out on it.
Okay. Did I get everybody on the
Yeah,
page?
so I'm with you too. I don't like that public display nonsense. You influence of the kids that see that. I don't like that either.
Wait, we gonna stay on point tonight. So Timmy, let me go right back to you. I promise to come back to you. So let's go back to what you said. You was able to point them out, pick them out. You was able to determine who was a member of that community. Is there some type of distinction, clear distinction? How was you able to distinguish who was a member of that community and who wasn't?
Well, if you see a dude that's with chicks all the time and wearing their clothes and whatnot, he's most likely on the other side. And how he if he's talking, he's moving his hands like the chick and whatnot, he's probably playing for the other side. You know, just in general, their aura, if they're twitching or I always talk about fighting the chick. He's probably playing for the other side.
Mm. Sean, so let's go back to so you was able to determine or distinguish them from other individuals. what was the telltale? What was the signs? What told the story?
I mean, just the way, I mean, I always knew who it was, who they were rather, and I think I was more, um, uh, I think this whole movement now, I mean, I've gotten better because they don't bother me, but in the past, like I said, in the past, it was always like I felt that their agenda was always being pushed on us as a society.
Mm.
And I used to have a problem with that. Like, yeah, I had a problem with that.
So let's go back to Mr. Elijah. So you said that you used to rob them, you used to take advantage of them, you used to beat them up.
Sorry,
that-
moving forward, that's Mr. APPLE or
yeah,
Apple.
just like your
Damn, dog, you was fag bashing.
just like you, I'm gonna leave that up to the rest of the panel to refer to them as those so again, you said that you used to basically take advantage of them, and why? What made you want to do that?
Well, the first time I encountered one person who was gay, it was a guy named Arthur in Franklin Field. And we all knew he was dressing as with dresses and stuff. And the teenagers used to always make fun of him and stuff. Then one day we was going to school, me, my cousins, and my aunts and their friends. And we saw Arthur hanging in a tree. He had his neck sliced, had the tongue taken out, and he had his penis in his mouth. He had on a dress and he had on a blonde wig. All the parents was trying to hide everybody, but because my mother didn't walk me to school that day, I'm with my aunts. My aunts got her two kids. No one ain't watching Apple, and Apple's making sure he's looking at every bit, every blood drop, the whole nine, birds, the whole nine. That was a horrible scene. But then they were saying that's what he get because he was a faggot.
Mm.
He was messing with children. He was making deals with children with candy. He was taking them in the hallway and taking advantage with little children. So as I gotten older, the next time it was when I was 14, 15 years old, and I went to New York City into the Bronx. First time being out of state, but I'm out, and now I'm in the Bronx, and now I'm in New York City where everything's loud. And what you saw was a bunch of people, they that in Castle Hill, they was calling these people Puerto Ricans faggots. So they used to rob them. I'm 14. I have no sisters and brothers. I'm seeing this stuff. Oh, this is what you do when it comes to faggots. Because the way that it was shown to me that if you can't reproduce, if you have something that called a penis and a woman have a vagina and it goes together and it produces a child, that was called normal. But if you have a penis and another person have a penis and a woman have a vagina and another woman have a vagina and together they up here doing their 1-2s, that was called abomination. This is in the 70s. This is in the 80s, and this is in the 90s. That's why I was doing what I was doing.
So you was offended by this person, these individuals' actions. So you felt like that the recourse was to be physical with them, cause them harm. That was your way of dealing with it.
People.
This is why listening is an art. That's not what I said. What I said is what I saw. What I saw is what I heard. What I heard is that's how I perform. It had nothing about it to do with my feelings. It had nothing about they offended me or anything like that. None of that stuff. What I saw, what I heard, and this is what you can say my environment or the people I was around was showing me. So when I did see, it's just like it's no different than if a little white Irish kid been around on white Irish people who don't like black people, and he's hearing this stuff. He's gonna start throwing cans and throwing bottles. Huh?
It was something you were taught.
It's the environment. It's just your culture at that time. You know what I'm saying too? But it had nothing to do on the sense of how you felt. You never really thought about how you felt because that's the culture you was in. You just part of the culture. It ain't about your feeling. It is what it is. As you get older, as time has changed, as civil rights laws have started kicking in, then you realize, oh, okay, they're human beings also. There's nothing different. Just what they do is what they do. But that took maturity. That took changes in information. And you gotta remember when HIV dropped, the first one they blamed it was the people that they call faggots. So when that stuff happens, it's like, what do you think? You know what I mean? But when you start getting older, get educated, start digging them on. They're human beings also. And when you find that they're human beings also, it's just what they do with their activity is their business, that's their rights, like it's my rights. Then guess what? You don't have to call them faggots. You just call them whatever they want to be called.
Now, let me ask you this question. Is it safe to say you are a member of the Generation X? Because you said 70s, 80s, and 90s.
Yes.
Okay. Let's talk to generation. Let's talk to one of the younger members on the panel. Gregory, how you feel about all the public display of their, their lifestyle? Does that bother you? Oh, wait, stop. Before you begin, wait, I can't even hear you. Your phone's breaking up. But fix your phone while I ask you this, because it's only fair to ask you the same thing that I asked everybody else. Are you homophobic? Have you ever been accused of being homophobic?
I mean, you can say that, I guess. If
no, I don't want to say it. I want you to.
I'm saying you can say that if you look at my views on the world as something like that, and you're in that nature. But I feel like what I believe is what I believe, and you can't make me into something I don't want to be because I don't believe the same thing as you.
So have you ever been accused of being homophobic?
Yes. Growing up, like I said, it was a lot harder growing up for kids in my generation, especially if you was like that, because everything wasn't out there for everybody to see and try to be.
So what generation do you represent, or which generation are you?
From 1990 to 1995.
So you would be Generation Z.
Millennials.
Yeah, it'd be a Z.
Well, they have different, several distinctions for it. I think it's Generation Z. You guys don't take my word for it. Someone.
I think we're like a lost generation. They always forget about us for some reason.
So you're a member of Generation Z. Gina, let's get a female's perspective. You're another young member of the panel. What generation are you of?
I would be Generation Z, or millennial. I was born in 87.
Yeah, you're known as millennials more.
Yeah.
See, we know, baby, you a member of Generation Y.
I don't know what generation he is.
I think he's Generation Y because he's the generation.
How old is he?
How old is he? 3.
Nah, he's Generation Alpha.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
See, that's one of those new ones. I didn't even see that.
Right.
Have you ever encountered or had problems with the public display? And let me be clear about display. I'm talking about the kissing, the hugging, the fondling, the groping, and things of that nature, and catcalling to others that do not partake in their lifestyle.
I don't know. I mean, no, I don't have any issue with public, because people are people love who they want to love or whatever. But there was a situation when I was like 16 years old, and there was I don't know what that person prefers, so I'm just gonna say a transgender person, a male, just like a female. And my brothers were teasing them and stuff, and they were like throwing stuff at the person or whatever. And he whatever wanted to fight these little kids. Now I get kids can be bad and stuff, but you're a grown person, you're a grown man, grown woman, whatever. And you wanted to put your hands on children. You should have called the police, look for their parents or whatever. And I had to fight. I had to put some hands on the person.
Yeah, but you know, they're human too. They just like they person. They have feelings. You
Oh,
know,
absolutely. I
they'll
understand that, but
definitely get
you're still
mad
an
if
adult. You're
right.
still an adult. Like I don't agree with the generation that are the transgender generation that think that it's okay for you to be a biological man and hit a female. At the end of the day, you're still a man. I don't like that. I'm not okay with that. I'm not okay with them doing the sports things. And so when it comes to certain situations, I'm not okay with. I'm not okay with transgender people being in sports. I'm not okay with them hitting other females, and just because they think that they're women now. Like, no, I don't agree with that part.
Hey, Dave, would you call her homophobic?
I'm not. So I'm going to remain neutral because I'm not going to call anybody anything. But if you I'm going to leave that up to you guys.
So you asked Gina, are you homophobic?
We already asked her that in the beginning.
And she said no.
She said no.
Right.
So she has dislikes.
So let me be clear.
You can have dislike just like people have dislike about you. You know,
right.
You can have your personal dislike. That doesn't mean that you are against what they portraying themselves as. You're not against it.
Exactly.
That's a definition, and a lot of times those definitions don't. Like I said, we want to.
But I will say that I am against transgender man, women, or whatever, calling
transgender
themselves
men trying to be a woman.
Right. Or the other way, calling
the woman being a
themselves
man.
what they want to be. Like I don't think that they should, because now what they've done is taken the biological woman and minimized our importance to, oh, she's just a birth giver. Oh, she's just this. She's just not. That doesn't make her a woman. Like they have minimize our role as women because they want it so bad. So no, I don't think that they're real women. I don't think that they're real men. You are what you came in this world as. And if you want to call me homophobic, then okay.
God said they ain't who they claiming to be. He made them who they are.
What?
I'm saying what I'm saying is
wait. Let him finish his statement.
I'm talking about far as gender wise, far as male, female. That's what he made you as.
Right.
So that's my only thing about. So no matter how much you cut your titties off, you're still a woman. Don't matter how much you cut your penis off and transform into the vagina, you never gonna be able to bear a baby.
Never.
And just like a woman is never gonna, if she can't do the same thing like a man can, cut his off and turn his shit into a
bottom line, the man
vagina.
can't carry. The man would not be able to get pregnant like a woman, and a woman is not going to be able to get another lady pregnant.
Exactly. So
but you
are what the Lord had made you to be.
Gateman, can I just say this?
Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, because hold your thought, Rob. Elijah's been waiting calmly to respond to what Timmy had to say. But before we go to Elijah, let me just tell you guys, y'all done already busted it wide open. Y'all done kicked the door off the hinges. So we there now. So I just want to make sure that everybody else on this panel, that you guys don't wait for it to be called on. Remember the format, this is an open forum. Feel free to jump in and respond. Just wait until there's a break in the conversation and then get right in there. Go ahead, Elijah. And then Robert.
This is what I had to learn, right? When it comes to the Bible, man and woman, we all know that. Reproduce, if that's what you want to call it. This is how you can tell what's a man or woman when you do these intercourse actions, usually come out with a baby. But at least about 98%, you come out with a baby. But that means erase everything I just said. When you live in a different country with laws and land, this is where my generation Z's and baby boomers and including, you know what I mean, the Ys too. When you got those laws on land, that's different. This is where it's not about man or woman, it's about a human being. Well, a human being can say, you know what? Well, that person don't want to be a man, that person want to be a woman. Why? Because you're living in a land and in a law that, you know what, you can do that. But if you put your religion and belief into the system and you're living in the United States of America, then you're missing you're so deep into the forest that you ain't missing the trees or vice versa, what it is, because it's changing like 100 going north. And if you come with that approach to a person, not looking at that person as a human being, prejudice will kick in. You know what I mean? And if from prejudice, you know where that can lead. But this is what I also wanted to say too. When we say that a man is a man and a woman is a woman, transgenders and all that stuff, right? Different countries has their different, you know what I mean, status. Thank you, Dave, for bringing up the TikTok thing. In Nigeria, I believe it was today or yesterday, and I've been doing my haplogroup, my background DNA, the whole nine. So I've been dipping the dap and see what's going on up here with the Rufus and all that. And they got this guy, right? He's 20 years old. He was messing with a 40-year-old who has HIV. Well, there's a new governor in town, and they want to see what he's going to do. That's against the law to be a homosexual. And it's definitely against the law to mess with a homosexual who have a disease or something. So it's like taking advantage. So he has to get killed. He's 20 years old, and he's in Nigeria. This is different laws. So when it comes to, is he a human being or is he just a man and they don't allow men messing with men or women messing with women? If that's their laws of that land, then that's how they go. The problem we have here in the United States of America, when we look at everybody as a human being of democracy, that's where they get it twisted on who's the one who's writing the laws for the land. Because each land has their own laws, including what a body is.
Okay, let me, Robert, you go on and say what you was gonna say, and then, Mr. Lacy, there's some support to what, Elijah's referring to. It is that video about, Uganda. So if you want to go ahead and cue that, Robert, go on and say what you need to say, and then Gregory, get the video ready. Go ahead, Robert.
Yes, sir. Okay, excuse me if these dogs start making noise. I'll try to say it real quick. I'll say it like this. The gay men community said all straight men should thank them twice because one, they removed their self out of the equation and they took another straight man out the equation by taking it from the girlfriend, the wife, or just a straight man that ain't found no lady yet. So you guys should be happy because there's more women out there for you straight men that didn't turn gay or has been snatched up by one.
Okay, hold on to that. Kiana, what's your favorite shirt? What's your favorite saying?
Which one? You can't make sense.
There you go.
Nonsense.
Don't say it loud and proud.
You cannot make sense out of nonsense.
Because that's exactly what that person is spewing, the one that said we need to thank gay men twice from removing another straight man from the equation plus themselves. I'm not competing. I don't find myself competing with those individuals.
That means then that they're taking all the men, which making more women turn gay, turn lesbian.
But okay, so the question, another thing is they gay men, not gay men, I'm sorry, transgender men They are, sometimes you can't even tell that they, you know, if that they're transgender, but they're dating these men that's straight. And because they actually think that they're actually a woman now, they're not telling these men, these straight men, that they're women. There was once a biological boy, and now their lives are being in jeopardy because you cannot start a relationship, especially a physical, emotional relationship with someone without telling them. They think that they shouldn't have to tell them.
Yeah, they
You
feel
know what
like
I'm saying?
they feel like it's at their discretion.
Exactly.
Basically, what she's saying is you cannot start a physical relationship based on make believe.
Exactly.
Gregory, are you with us?
Before I cue the video, it's the Uganda one, right?
That's what I'm talking about. You're on point. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please reserve your comments until the end of the video. Mute your phones, please.
Hey, one more quick thing. Why are you a gay?
Start is Generation X more homophobic, and Generation Z and Generation Y button. Zoom meeting. Close.
Make sure that homosexuals have no space in Uganda. Our country, we will have our morals. We will protect our children. And we are making this law. We are making this law for ourselves. We are making this law for our children. We are making this law for the children of our children. This country will stand firm. And once it passed, I can tell you, Madam Speaker, we are going to reinforce the law enforcement officers to make sure that homosexuals have no space in Uganda.
Straight to the point. So let me.
He's homophobic. He wants to get rid of them.
So let me, Deli, let's get Deli back into the conversation. Deli, do you think that individual and what they're doing, do you think that represents them or labels them as homophobic?
I think it does, but the gentleman that spoke earlier is true. Each country and state, they have their own set of rules, and that person that is in control is the dictator. But when God created us, he created us all equal. You understand? We're not judged, as Martin Luther King says, by the color of our content or whatever, our skin. You know what I'm saying? And so love is many colors. Love is wild, right? We're living in a sinful world. It doesn't have to be spiritual, but if we had more people living and letting live, it'd be more peaceful. Because I think as someone that might be, gay or bi or lesbian, they're just like us. They're no different. You understand? It's just a personal sexual preference. With some, it's their personal identity. You speak to any of them and they can educate you because for them, they're free, and so we as people want to feel that same freedom within ourselves. So live and let live, as long as it's not imposed on me or tainted with other, like the Kiana has said, these young kids persuading others when they haven't even tapped into their emotional side or their sexual side, but they're being tainted. You know what I'm saying? And it's difficult. It's very difficult. But live and let live is, hey, do you, if that's what floats your boat, because I think being straight is floating my boat. But a lot of people judge. It's not.
And the words that judge not, at least you be judged.
They spew out that the Bible says. Well, the Bible also says, because we were born sin, and we're living in sin, but we're judged by our hearts. You know what I'm saying? Not by who I'm hooking up with or what my sexual preference is.
Y'all want to keep working with that?
Let me pick it back up of what Deli is saying. I know that I'm a Christian, and it does say in the word that same-sex interaction is an abomination. That was under the law. And when Jesus came to give us grace, to live by grace. And I believe that love has no color, no boundaries, no, what word am I looking for?
No gender.
No gender, thank you. Just as the spirit. So if you lead by the spirit and you look at a person's spirit as opposed to their identity, it will be a lot more peaceful in this world.
Yeah, you
Love.
see those same people in the churches repenting. You see them.
Y'all gonna keep flirting with it.
I'm okay with who, like, if you wanna be with who you wanna be with, love who you wanna love. I have no problem with nobody loving who they wanna love, or what's in the Bible, or what you think that's not in the Bible, or I don't really care about all that. I know the life that I live. It's when you try to tell me that I'm not a woman and you're a woman. That's what I have a problem with. I have a problem when these people, it's becoming delusion at this point, because they're trying to convince the human race that these biological men that turn themselves into women have periods, and that they need to see a OBGYN, and that they are having menstrual cramps. You have to have ovaries to have menstrual cramps. So I don't give a hell who you want to sleep with, what you want to turn yourself into. But when you start making delusions and you expect me to believe them and try to change me from being a woman and tell me, no, you're not a woman, you're a cis woman. Like, no.
What woman?
A cis woman. That's what they want. They want us to, that's what they want biological women to be renamed as cis woman instead of woman. So they're women, and now we're cis women because we're born biologically, and we decided to stay in the sex that we were born in. So and you know what's crazy is it's mostly the men. It's they're not trying to, for these biological women, sorry, for these biological women trying to become men, they're not trying to find them dicks. You know what I mean? They're not pushing that agenda. They're pushing the agenda of the men trying to be women more so than the women trying to be men.
So
can I add on to that?
Yeah,
because I had a conversation with somebody, and I feel like, yes, it's the cis woman and trans men, and trans women, that is a problem. And I also believe that, I feel like that push or agenda is because, unfortunately, I hate to say this on the panel, men have a takeover spirit of women.
Absolutely.
So they don't really respect them as much. And that's why they feel the need to take over, because women don't do that, because the men, biological men, would never allow that to happen. So that's where I had a conversation with somebody about. That's why I feel that that is the reason that trans women and biological women are butting heads, because men have a tendency to take over.
To take over and be dominant. And the problem with us women is we run off our emotions. So we're like, oh, well, if they really, really want to be women, let them be what they want to be. Because women naturally run off emotion. And that's why
and we're
they're trying to extinct us. Like, that's really what they're trying to do.
Blame it on RuPaul or Sylvester.
Hold on. Before we start pointing the finger at people and stuff like that, Sean, you still with us? Sean?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, so I want to get you back in this conversation. So someone made the reference earlier to the Bible, and what's stated in the Bible. There is a scripture that basically sums all this up. Is there or is there not?
What do you mean sums it all up?
That was kind of general.
Well, I didn't bite my tongue. So what I'm asking you, Sean, is there scripture that supports that God created two genders?
Yeah.
Is there scripture that states his feelings about when you do other than what the law, you meaning the scripture speaks tells you, has taught you to do?
There is.
Because I'm just stating that because you guys gonna keep flirting with the, talk about the Bible.
I know what
maybe we
scripture
should put it
talking
into
about.
context.
I can't give you the exact scripture, but it's talking about if same sex of man goes with man, that it would cause it's an abomination and it causes a disease through the blood.
There's several different scripture that speaks of that. You got Leviticus, where it speaks of that. You got Sodom and Gomorrah. You got Romans. You got I believe it's Mark. There's several different it tells you God created Adam and Eve. Man and female. So it is quite clear. So for those that says, because you do have some members of the LGBTQ plus community that says there is no clear distinction of God's word when it comes to their chosen lifestyle. They say there's nothing in there that speaks against that, and I have to beg to differ because I've read it.
Dave, that's not how it works, kid. That's not how it works, dog. Real talk, you know what I'm saying? Kid, check it. It's about the laws. First of all, when you're talking about the Bible, you're talking about Old Testament, when you're talking about Genesis. Once you get to Israel, I know I'm in the bloodline. Once you get into Israel, it's about God and his country. Because you go to Egypt, Kemet, it's a whole different type of gods. They're doing a whole different type of thing. So when it comes to laws, that was for God and his country. What's problematic is we try to bring God of Israel into the God of the United States of America. And you cannot do that. It don't
But
work
all
that
of
way.
those stories are similar.
How you can tell is because of the laws. You have 613 laws when it comes to the Mosaic laws, including the 10 Commandments. That's for the Hebrew/Israelites/ the children of Israel/Judah. Yet, when it comes to the United States, you got the Constitution. You dig what I'm saying to you? And the God in your trust in the sense of what God you would like to. We can be like Rome. All roads leads to Rome. Serve all your gods. Just know the government is always is in charge. When it comes to a human being, read the civil rights package. You have the right to be or do what you want to do, just you don't hurt nobody. And you follow the laws.
Preach.
And that's in the United States of America, kid.
So if I can make sense of what you're saying, put in the layman's terms, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. So just put it in layman's terms for people that are not, clear about.
It can't be no damn clear.
So what you're saying is the reason why we are currently enduring all these issues about homophobia and stuff like that is due to the government. So you're saying that the government has a hidden agenda. This is why things are the way they are.
They allow it. They're freaks. They allow it.
Okay.
I agree.
I'm gonna say this again.
Say this, that God sent his son to the earth to send God and his son in the image of man to extend grace upon the earth, for everyone,
hold on.
not just the Jews.
Hold on. When Yeshua, Jesus Christ, or the Son of Man, when he came down here so people can learn the real true God and his ways in order. So that means in the United States, you could be a Christian, you could be a Hebrew, as long as you follow in the Torah, follow in the Bible, Old Testament, New Testament, believe in Yeshua, Jesus Christ. And in the United States, you follow the rules and regulations as if you're Paul in Rome. You're Benjamite, but you're a citizen in Rome. So you're doing the same thing.
Or the kids.
No, this is the Roman. This is before Catholic. This is I'm saying the law. This is before the Catholics. This is where the laws of Roman date. Now let's hold on, Dave. I just want to spill this out right quick. I was hearing what the young ladies were saying, and I was writing, and I heard one said, "Live and let live." The other one said Jesus gave them freedom or by love. The other one says is delusional people, cis women or breeders, and the other one is domination, emotion, and extinction. I love to hear how sisters see things because that is exactly what's going on. The problem is you are the one who allowed it. You are the one who let it in. You are the one who befriend them. You are the one, this is my person, this is my bum bum bum. Live and let live. When I seen in history, one thing men don't know about history is men don't know about history, it's always going to be domination. It's going to be a bigger tribe or want to take over the little tribe because it once was a little tribe. It's just human nature, sad to say. Thank God for Jesus. Number two, Jesus did come, but Jesus came to save us so we can know what time it is with God and his ways. Follow his words right there in the Bible, red words. Then you know what time it is, but you got to follow the land. He'll show you how to do that. When it comes to delusional, of course, last days, reprobate mind. But again, that don't matter. Whatever law or land you're in, follow it, or you would be thrown in jail, or you would be fined, or you would be canceled, whatever, whatever. If you believe in the Bible, believe in the Quran, it show you how to maneuver through all that stuff. Not hard at all. But it is trying to be an extinction. The extinction is you don't have to have kids. You don't have to reproduce, and you still can
Genocide.
love one another. This is the part that's kind of interesting. Did God make man to reproduce, or did
Produce.
God make man just to love one another?
To reproduce. To reproduce and love one another.
I feel like
Exactly.
sometimes religion
And
and
for
law goes hand in
relationship.
hand.
And for
So
relationship.
the laws that they put out here, you know what I mean? It's the right and wrong or the good and bad. So it's all about a moral compass type thing. So when they put this stuff out
Yeah.
here, it spins
But
your moral compass all the wrong way. And now they got you not knowing which way that God wants you to go.
Can I say this now?
exactly because people want to confuse you. Can I just say something that's kind of like tying on what Apple was just saying, right? Okay, you know, like when Jesus was asked like about um following the law of God or following the law of Caesar, right, in the Roman ways, right, at that given time.
Give what
Jesus
Caesar is
is
Caesar's, and
Wait, let
give
her
what God
finish. Let
is
her
God.
finish. Let her finish.
exactly, that's my point.
Say it
You
again.
know, so don't deny
Give to Caesar
Caesar
what
his
belongs to Caesar
taxes,
and to
but
God what
follow,
belongs
you
to God.
know, pay God his tithes.
All right. So
All right, let me just say this
go
real
ahead,
quick
Robbie.
about what Gina was talking about earlier. On some podcasts, many episodes before this one, we was talking about woman and should a lady be called a woman. I told you guys a while ago. I said you should embrace the word lady, and you should stop having people call you a woman. And I was making trying to make sense out of a joke, but at the same time, I knew this day was coming. When they call you ladies, women, you know, it was like I told you the W-O and then man. If you put a subtraction sign, minus sign, or divider there, you got W-O, then man, W-O, then men. So, wool, you know, is the clothing.
The
You
woe
know,
is
like
short
they
for
say,
womb. Womb
sheep to
man. Womb man.
Exactly.
yes, yes. So if you say it like that, this is someone playing dress up. Now, when she said the transition woman, or if they call it a man or whatever it is, I think it's transition woman, transgender woman. When she said they want you guys to stop referring to yourself as cis woman, it's to me, when you find out what that means, then you should embrace it because they're not being they're not offending you. They are telling you this is your gender from birth.
No, they are
This
offending me though.
No,
I'm
this
no, no.
offended.
but let me just tell you why. And I'm it's no debate. I'm just you guys check this out. Find what the definition is. It means this is who you are from birth. You was born into this world with a vagina as a lady, a little girl. These people that want what you have, they are taking the word woman, let them have it. Woman.
So
Your
why can't
cis woman
why
means
can't they be called a trans woman?
they
Why
are.
do we
They
have
call transition
no,
women and
but they don't
transition
want to
men.
be called trans. That's the whole point. That's what I'm
Well,
trying to tell y'all.
it's
They
gonna
don't
be
want to be
hard to get away from that.
but but it's not that hard because they're allowing it to happen as we speak. They don't want to be called trans anymore. They just want to be called women. And they
So
want
Gina, do you have a problem with someone stop calling you a woman and say, "Hi, Miss Lady, how you doing? I hope you're having a good day." Instead of, "Hi, woman, how
woman,
you doing? I hope you're having a
lady.
good day."
I'm a woman. I'm a female. I am a lady. Whatever you want to. That's what I am. What is a
Yeah,
woman?
so
What
that's
is
one
a
less
woman to
word.
you? A woman is someone that is born with ovaries, not necessarily somebody that can't have children because
With the womb of life, cuz I got you.
the womb of
Hold on,
life.
sweetheart.
So
Hold on, sweetheart.
if somebody cannot have kids, if a woman, a biological woman can't have children, you know that it's in her nature, and there's something there was something, a defect or something that happened where she can't have kids, but she has the equipment to have them, right? So she's still a woman. That's a woman, period. If you don't have that, then you can't call yourself a woman. You can change all your parts, get your little hole, dilate and do all that kind of stuff that you have to do to become a woman for the rest of your life, but you'll never be able to build children. Period.
Now, stop right
Okay,
there.
now
Pause,
wait, Dave, before you
pause,
do that.
pause. Just so we can get back to the topic at hand. This is why we gave y'all clear definitions in the beginning. What is homophobic? What is homosexual? So that we would stay in context. I hear what Gina's saying. I hear what Elijah said. I heard what Rob is saying. Gregory, I feel like that we need some more videos. We have to bring people back to the point at hand. So just pick a video, because tonight we're talking about which generation is more homophobic. Is it Generation X? Is it Generation Z? Is it Generation Y? We're trying to figure out where this stems from. What is the origin? Where is this coming from?
We basically know what generation is more homophobic.
Right, Dave. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
I'm listening to the generation right now.
Right.
We have an
I'm
idea.
listening
My
to
mother's
the generation
is the
right
most
now.
my mom's generation is the most homophobic.
That's right. I'm listening to the generation right now.
Stay right there. So
Let's bring it back.
You know,
I always thought that it was cross-dressing became turned into transgender.
Well, that's where
drags.
Transgender comes, or the drags, and that's been around for centuries. In the a black man was the first cross-dresser or drag. He had the first drag show, and then they banned him. So that stuff been going on for centuries. All right, let me stop y'all right there. So just so we can, because we got an hour, and I don't want to finish the show without covering certain points. Gregory, we got another video, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, get a video, pick one, pick the 41, and hold on, and I'm gonna tell you when to press the button, just so we stay on point.
Zoom meeting.
Guys.
Zoom meeting.
What?
Gregory, are you gonna show the video? Because you keep pressing the button.
Getting done.
I'm transgender.
I'm queer.
A recent gap. They're called Gen Z, but many young adults proudly embrace 5 other letters: LGBTQ.
I'm a lesbian.
I'm gay.
I'm bisexual.
I'm transgender.
I'm queer.
A recent Gallup poll found that among Gen Z adults, those between the ages of 18 and 25, about 21% identify as LGBTQ. 21%. It's 1 in 5.
When you heard that number, what was your reaction?
I really wasn't surprised. Our generation isn't really scared to actually say that we're part of the community and we're actually proud of who we are.
With the help of Campus Pride, a national group supporting LGBTQ college students, we gathered this group of Gen Zers: Eddie, Nick, Marcus, Sierra, and Mary. They go to the University of Central Florida and are part of the first generation to totally grow up in a digital world.
Social media, how important was that to you when you were younger?
Oh, social media, it was like everything to me because it really helped me form a sense of myself.
I remember writing in my diary as a kid that I had a crush on a boy just over and over and over, just to pray that eventually I'll convince myself that I do. And I got introduced to these online communities, and I finally saw, oh, wait, I'm not a freak. There are people out there who feel the same way that I do. And that realization saved my life.
And I don't want to add more stress to your day, but I love you.
They could also see themselves reflected in traditional media, movies, and TV shows.
Growing up and seeing even the smallest bits of representation in like LGBTQ plus characters and everything of that sort is just made me feel, you know, like not alone. And it made me feel like kind of understood.
And perhaps no endorsement had a greater impact than the one delivered by the Supreme Court in 2015.
Now to that historic Supreme Court decision legalizing same-sex marriage across the land.
All of it creates a sense of belonging that mental health experts say is vital.
The messaging that Gen Zers have is like it's okay to be who you are and to love who you love and to talk about that and celebrate that.
A majority of LGBTQ Gen Zers say they're bisexual, and among those 5 letters, a growing number of young people identify as queer, which is perhaps most simply defined as not straight.
I present as a boy, but I love pink or I love like feminine things, but at the same time I could also like masculine things, and I don't need to be in that set like binary.
For your generation, it's easier to come out than say my generation, but it's not easy, is it?
No, definitely not.
For me, coming out was always sort of like bouncing off a brick wall and bouncing off the brick wall and bouncing until eventually I can make a dent.
I feel like there's this huge disconnect. Oh, being queer is like a trend, but these are people's identities. These are people really putting themselves on the line and putting themselves in a place where they could be in danger.
All of them grew up in more conservative communities in Florida. It's a state that's making headlines this year for passing legislation that prohibits classroom instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity for many younger students.
We're going to make sure that parents are able to send their kid to kindergarten without having some of this stuff injected into their school curriculum.
What critics call the Don't Say Gay law.
Now you're just trying to control and minimize us and just kind of shove us back even more, but I think it only just kind of makes us push back harder.
So when you look at the future, do you have optimism?
Yes, definitely.
We have always been here, and now we are saying we're here. We are letting the world know that we accept ourselves, we love ourselves, and we're not going to back down.
Another major reason it's easier for younger people to come out is that society is simply more accepting. 70% of Americans now approve of same-sex marriage. And here's a really important stat about acceptance that I want you to think about. LGBTQ youth who have at least one, just one accepting adult in their lives were 40% less likely to report a suicide.
Wow,
That
that's
was
a
one
big
of
number.
the
That's the most important stat.
Yeah.
That was fascinating.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you so much. By the way, we do want to mention that you're going to take an even closer look at the issues facing the LGBT community. Pride and Backlash Special.
Yes.
Pride and Backlash Special. We encourage everyone to check it out. It's tomorrow, 10:30 p.m. Eastern on NBC News Now. Again, Pride and Backlash.
I feel like I need 3D glasses for the Pride. Right?
You don't need 3D glasses to watch it. You'll be fine without the 3D glasses.
All right, everybody, hold your comments. I want to say something before we move.
They act like they're scared to even
Hold your
criticize.
comments until let me say something, and then you guys can chime in. So I want to bring it back to the initial questions. Which generation is more homophobic? Generation X, which is our primarily it's the whole panel with the exception of two people. Or Generation Z or Generation Y. And I'm asking you this, and I'm gonna go to you individually. Sean, would you say that you was influenced by the generation before you, which is the baby boomers, and then their generation, which was the silent generation, which would have been your grandparents?
I would say that because they I grew up around it, but it wasn't talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I saw it, I mean, I personally didn't like it. I thought something was wrong with people that was like that. But just to give it a slight background, I grew up in the church community. So I saw a lot of that at the time, not even knowing what it was. You know, I just saw a bunch of men acting like women, not knowing. I didn't even know what gay or homosexuality was until I was almost in middle school.
Mm. So you got your direction and your perception based upon what you was taught by your elders. Is it safe to say that?
Not that I was taught by them, but what it was that I saw, and I was like I said, that's why I said I seen it, but no one talked about it.
Okay. So that's probably so your grandparents didn't talk about it, right?
No, my grandparents didn't talk about it. My parents didn't talk about it.
Because more than likely because they was influenced by the grandparents. So the grandparents' approach is what they passed on to your parents, and then in turn what they did when dealing with you, right?
Right.
So
yes.
okay, so that's this, and you are of what generation again?
I'm the old. I'm old one on the panel.
Your Generation X.
I'm Generation X. Yes,
Your
sir.
Generation X. You're like everybody else on this panel. The majority of us.
Yeah, because Generation X is from 1960 to the early 80s.
So Deli, would you say you was influenced by your elders, both your grandparents and your parents?
No.
On homosexuality?
No, it wasn't talked about, but we didn't I didn't see that. It wasn't displayed around me growing up. It was more of a spiritual setting for me growing up.
So I'm sorry, did you say y'all talked about it or you didn't talk about it?
No,
they
we didn't.
They didn't.
No.
So when did it come into your radar? When did you start learning of it and start like making sense of it?
Well, like in the beginning, seeing it in my middle or high school, people's behavior, their actions, guys towards other guys or girls towards other girls. At first, I used to laugh at it. Oh my God, thought they was weird, But again, the person that I am, it didn't really bother me as long as you don't come on me like that. But there was someone I grew up with in the neighborhood. We went to elementary, middle school, everything. We grew up together, and she didn't have many boyfriends. She had one or two, and she turned out to be a lesbian. It didn't change how I felt about her or anything like that. But we hooked up. We got together after not seeing each other for like 10 years or something like that. And she let me know, I'm gay, right? And I said, no, but that don't bother me. Hey, do you, whatever floats your boat. But then she tried to come on to me. And that wasn't a cool thing, that was not cool with me. At first I didn't know how to handle that, but I had to shut that down quick. I was very uncomfortable with that. But it did pull me back. Like it changed the relationship because I'm not like that. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Timmy. So I got Sean say it became started really realizing what it is. When he was in
I knew this from when I was like 6 years old. I've seen stuff that I wasn't supposed to see. So, but I knew.
Don't use any
and-
names. Do not use
But
any names.
I saved you from people trying to turn you out and whatnot. So my thing was like Sean
I hope
and
we're not
Deli.
talking about being turned out at 6 years old.
No,
Let him
no,
finish his
nah.
story.
Yeah. Like Sean and Deli said, you know, I knew about it and I seen things. And then as I got older, you know, I'd say, I don't have no problem with them as long as they don't try to make no move on me. Then we cool. I could be cool, be friend with you, say what up, and give you that or whatever. But you cross the line, then it's a problem.
All right. So you said that you had a clear distinction, level of discernment early on when you was like 6 years old. Sean, middle
Yeah,
school.
that's from watching. That's from watching Sylvester and RuPaul.
Okay, but those people came.
They was
Tanya, when did
Yeah.
you? Tanya, when did is it? Tell me who had an influence on you? Was it your elders or your grandparents, your parents? When did you start learning about it? Because I want to see where did this influence come from, your perspective?
Well, I didn't grow up in a Christian home, okay? I told y'all plenty of times. I grew up around a bunch of heathens. So I knew about it early on, but that didn't, what I had a discernment of spirit. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But so you learned about it early on.
Yeah, that didn't negate me from treating them any differently. You know what I mean?
What was the elders' perspective on it?
Well, their perspective was they was, rude. They called them out what I guess they heard their parents calling them.
Mm-hmm.
They was using the slurs, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And saying that it wasn't right. But whenever I came into contact with one, I never told them, oh, you're sinning. I didn't do anything like that. No, they was my friend. I was in high school with one that was like one of my good friends. And she came out to me one day in the bathroom, and I said, I don't care. As long as you don't try to come on to me, we good. Because I don't roll like
They called the guys faggots. What did they call the girls?
dykes.
Yeah.
Dykes.
Or butch, right?
Butchers. Yeah.
Frisco
Butch.
Dykes.
Yeah. Okay. Patsy, was you influenced by your elders, be it your grandparents or your parents? Did they talk about the homosexuals?
Yeah, mostly my mother. It's like there was just like my mother had us with kind of like a big sister, big brother kind of program, and we had this one lady that came by to like take me out, and she happened to be gay and stuff. It's like my mother said some stuff to her, and it kind of hurt the lady's feelings. So when I went out with this woman, I realized she was kind of upset and like in tears a little bit. And when I got back home, I was like, "Ma, you need to apologize because you hurt her feelings." It's like, so it's like I might not, I know she didn't. I kind of agree with my mother that she, about like the way, but it's like she was wrong about how she represented what she said to her.
So
You
her views,
know, so it's
her
like some
views.
stuff I learned from my mom, but I didn't always agree with how she approached her words with it.
Okay, let's go to Kiana next, and then Elijah. Kiana, well, I already know, but I want you to tell them, was you influenced by the elders?
I'm sorry. I'm Generation X.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
you
me
are
too.
definitely. All you, that's why I said the majority of us are. I, Kiana Duchess, which give us was your elders an influence on this? Did they talk about homosexuality? Did they talk about any of that? Was they homophobic?
No, it was. I mean, it depends on who you're talking about. Males
Yes,
versus
period. Your elders,
females.
females and males.
No, it was different. Females weren't so homophobic. Males were definitely racial. I mean, not racial. Slurs were used to define people, and not. And I mean, I've known people in the community since I was little, like very close family members. So it wasn't addressed in a positive way. It was very much a negative, or even I was sitting here trying to think how far back I could think of somebody being gay in the family or around the family, and I don't, minus baby years or young toddler years, I would say very much new at between 6 and 8, somebody who was gay. And like I said, again, their lifestyles were not, they weren't pushed, they were condemned. And some other people, they didn't flash it, but they didn't hide it completely. Yeah, I don't know how else to say. Generation X.
Generation X. All right, Elijah, was you? Oh, go ahead. Why don't you tell your story?
What's the question, Kate?
The question is, was you influenced by your elders and your elders' perspective regarding homosexuality, and was they homophobic?
Got you. Okay, my fault. Now it's fucking weed want to kick in. Okay, okay, my father's from the silent generation. My mom's a baby boomer. I'm a Generation X. Through my father's silent generation, which is 2 generations, then come yours truly. Theirs was a whole different type of lifestyle, how the way they see the world at that time from that past. So it was a whole different culture. Me being a Generation X. And then on my mom's side was a boomer. You know what I'm saying? See, they had a different culture also. And during that time, during the boomer time, the the homosexuals, or like my pop's time, they used to call them sissies. You know what I mean? Or yeah, you're a sissy. You know what I mean? And then in my mom's time, they would call them cross dressers, or they would call them they wasn't calling them gay, because in my father's side, gay was being happy. You know what I mean? So it wasn't gay. But on my mom's side, you know what I mean? It wasn't gay, but it was sort of like it's funny, or he's a little, they always had slangs for it, but when it come out saying gay, it definitely wasn't homosexual. But when it came to my era, it was gay. You know what I'm saying? So it was, again, faggot. So it was the environment that I was in through that stretch of generation. Me having no sisters and
The
brothers,
baby
that's where,
boomers were sweet. He's a little sweet.
yeah,
Hey,
sweet.
my
You know what I mean? Stuff
generation
like
was like
sucking his
that too.
tank, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So that's what did it for me.
Okay. So you was in. So can you say that if your elders were homophobic or not?
Good question. Um, uh, to be honest with you, no. Because my pop, he knew how to be in an environment, and I won't use the word tolerate, but treat them as they are, as human beings. And my mother was the same way. But their friends or their environment or the sisters and brothers, it was a totally different, nah, it was very strong prejudice, very strong prejudice going on.
Okay. Let's go to Robert next. There's a method to my madness. Robert.
Okay, let's see. I told you I had a new identity, didn't I? If they can do it, I can do it too. So my name is Mr. Great I Am once again. I'm going to tell you something about the first time maybe I started recognizing this. Y'all might call it weird, strange, or different. We used to watch television. And I know everybody's seen this on their TV, not just in the communities or in their family. On television, if you didn't watch it, your family must watch it. It was called the soaps. And you know, if you watch General Hospital, whatever soap you watched, there was one of them on there. Trust and believe. But the soap that I ended up coming across that I first seen one was General Hospital. And he came on, he was like, one, two, one more, two more. And his name was Richard Simmons.
Mm-hmm.
So you seen him, and that was like a shock to the eyes because you was like, wow, he's different. If you watch wrestling, you seen a wrestler that dressed up as one, Adrian Adonis, and then there was other wrestlers that Pat Patterson and all of them. You knew
Wait a minute, Pat Patterson is
Wait,
dressed up
let him
as.
finish.
listen, I'm
Let
gonna
him
go
finish.
on. Then you got Little Richie. He's sitting there, blue, 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 and all this playing the piano, the music. You knew of these people, what they were. So you can't say you never seen it before if it was
So
a shock
again,
to you.
just to stop right there, what age did you was able to make the clear distinction of what a homosexual was?
I knew that was different. So say
What
if
age?
that was on in 1979 to 83 on the soap, I myself was born 72. You gotta think right there. I was only 7 years old when I first realized the fruity patootie. So my people talking about it, being against it or homophobic, there was some whispering, you know, got a little sugar in the tank, or you got to watch Tinker Bell,
No,
or
yeah.
he's a little want to be a princess, or whatever they was calling the boys that was acting that way, because it wasn't so much of the girls being targeted back then. It was like boys.
Right.
For a gay girl, it was like we seen them but didn't see them. It was like somewhat of the norm. It was the boys that stood out more. So me being from Generation X, it didn't make me be a homophobic due to if some of my people and my mom's embrace all types. My father, he showed me how to adapt, get along, you know, you adjust your character, whatever, you know, whatever. You just fit in. You don't have to be one of them. But like I said, he don't want to use the word tolerate, but you can deal with it for the moment while they're around you or you're around them. You don't have to take none of their characteristics home with you.
Okay, let's go to the younger members on the panel because I believe I got all of the Generation X. Let's ladies first. Gina, was you influenced by your elders, and what was their perspective about homosexuals, and were they homophobic?
My mom and her mom are homophobic. So no, so I wouldn't say that they influenced me. Yeah, from my uncles to my mom and my grandmother and her brothers, they're all homophobic. You could not come to them with no type of homosexuality, because they'll get you. I mean, they will call your names and they won't care if it hurts your feelings or not. My mom's generation, which is, I think, is y'all generation. She she just, I mean, I think she'll tolerate it if it's not in her family. But if it's in her family, she don't understand it. She don't want nothing to do with it. She's completely just uncomfortable. I mean, she tenses up at the fact that even the thought of one of her children dating the same sex. So, yeah. So, but I don't think my grandmother, she would call, we have one known homosexual in my in my mother's side of family, and she is a lesbian, but she ended up having 2 kids, so I don't know how that works. But they call her a bulldigger. Like, I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh, but that's my grandmother's old term for like lesbians. They call them bulldaggers, or my mother still uses the F word just to, if my nephews or anybody does something in her eyes that's like homosexual behavior, or she'll say, I don't like that F shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like that faggot shit. I don't like that. I don't like that. So she's completely, yeah. They don't do it at all.
All right, Gregory, it's on you.
Yeah. I like, me and my cousin, we always have this conversation. I always like to say, because these people like to say that they're born like that, but I feel like people end up talking them into that way because of the people from before me. They are like that. They're homophobic and they don't talk. That's why a lot of that stuff used to be in a closet back in the days, because nobody tolerated that. So it's hard for you to be like, I'm okay with my son acting like a sissy, when we know we always calling these people that was acting like sissy. And now they got this term sis, which is crazy, because what are you, a sissy man? You're not. You're not. What are you talking about?
Wait. You just brought some. Go on. So they want to be called cis women. Okay, go ahead. Go on, Gregory.
No, the men, even some of the men, they want to be called cis men. What the hell is that? Get out of here.
No.
I told you guys what it meant.
All right,
I don't care what it means. It's just
finish.
crazy. It's only 2 genders.
So
Anything else is
make jokes
bizarre.
out of that.
So are you saying that you was influenced by your elder generation?
Yes, that in science, I believe
And
is
so
just the correct. Like I get back to the moral compass thing. It's like people are trying to bend your moral compass of what's right and what's wrong.
Okay, so you saying that so it's safe to say that you say that your elders were homophobic?
Yes,
Okay.
they called them sissies. You acting like a little faggot. All that raw stuff.
All right, let's go to the next.
Smack them upside the back of their head.
So this closet that they spoke of, I don't know how deep, how wide this closet is or was, but
It's got that walk-in closet.
once this
There's
door,
a double, triple size, quadruple size walk-in closet.
once this door was open, it was like it was like a forbidden door. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You people from my generation. It was like a Pandora's box.
With a bunch of lounge chairs and bathrooms.
There was a reason why it was a closet topic. Like they didn't speak of it. You talk about the silent generation. They didn't speak about things like that because I guess they felt like if they didn't speak on it, then it wouldn't be true, and it wouldn't. And if they didn't speak on it, then their children wouldn't be visited by the sins of the generation before them.
Nah, Dave. Nah, Dave.
Let me finish
Nah,
what I'm saying. Wait, you can dispute it.
Nobody ain't agreeing with it.
So maybe that's why they didn't speak on it. But I'm going to go back to the door. Once the door was opened up, I don't know if there was a skeleton key or whatever. Once that door was opened up, everything came out that closet. And to this day, and I'm just being honest with you guys, staying within that metaphor, I think that LGBTQ plus makes a clear distinction about what they, and let's be clear about this, what they will tolerate, right? So if they are only going to tolerate certain membership and they can find fault with other things that supposedly came out of that same closet that community once dwelled in, why is it homophobic when we disagree with their perspectives and their views? If you differ with their perspective, why are you homophobic?
Because you're not supposed
when they can
to.
have a difference of opinion about others and say that they're worse than them. Why is it okay for them to say it?
Dave, was it a question or a statement?
That was the question.
Okay. Listen, first of all, symbolically, you dig what I'm saying to you? That key is the laws. It's called the civil rights laws in the country.
What happened to your phone?
Yeah.
Your mic cut off, big dog.
Right.
All right. So
Something
again,
happened.
let me ask you guys this. So I go to the rest of the board. Sean, again, you've been rather quiet. Do you feel like that too much is made of this topic about homosexuality, the LGBTQ plus community? Because let me present this other question, because Elijah's going to come back probably and answer that question.
I'm back in now. My fault.
Hold on 1 second. So do you feel like that because this is the same community that says they don't want to be treated any different from anybody else, but yet they exhibit a level of indifference when category, they don't want to be labeled. They say they don't want to be labeled, but then they do have labels and they put labels on others. How do you feel about that?
That's my issue with them.
Mm-hmm.
That is my issue. They
claim
that,
Go ahead, Sean.
They claim they don't want to be different or labeled and this and that and the other, but yet they want to make sure that they, I call it, they're forcing their recognition on us.
Mm-hmm.
They want all the perks, all the rights, they just want to be in everything. And that has always, that's what my issue has been with them. They just want everything their way.
Mm-hmm. So it's almost as to say their gender is not a hidden agenda anymore. It's like clear. It's like it's
we stand.
You heard what they said in the video. They've always been here.
That's what that
They're
young
here
girl
now.
said.
And
we out here.
And they're not going anywhere. So again, now that they're being seen and being heard, they have a voice. They're gonna make sure that they're heard.
Now that they got rights.
Actually and they actually know the type of power that they hold.
Exactly. Exactly.
Because they got rights now. They got rights. They didn't have rights then, but now they got rights.
I'm gonna come back
when you talk about that key, it's the key to Pandora's box.
That Pandora's box, he speaks about spirituality, and in those times that the gentleman was talking about, the Hebrews, the Egyptians, the Pharisees, and those men, they used to wear those skirts, you understand, and during those celebrations, they used to hug each other, kiss each other, so that was kind of, but then they started having and they speak about it in the Bible. They started having like parties, and in those parties, the women started engaging, dancing sexually and provocatively, and then towards each other, and men began to get aroused by that, and it was like a spirit of like freak, you know what I'm saying, and trickery of the mind.
God gave their minds over to be
that's it. That was all. They always high off of some type of.
And that's how that came about.
So are you referring to?
And they was drinking. They was drinking. So they
Babylon.
looking at each
Are
other.
you? No. Let's get this straight. Are you referring to Sodom and Gomorrah?
I'm not. I'm gonna send the name to you, David. It's really, really. It speaks about the time of the year when it's celebrated, and it's usually the time that we have our gay parades.
Gay pride.
Yeah, and all this stuff. It's the same timing, and it speaks about it, how it originated, and just people becoming more and more that way. That's how it grew, and it supported it. So when some young folks say knowing that they're not born that way, but they can't help how they feel, and this is how they feel, that's the trickery of the mind. You know what I'm saying? Because God already blessed you with penis or that bad vagina. You're already stamped with a seal. You're already stamped with a seal what you are. David, you said our government names. We're already stamped. God already created man and woman, and that's how you decide, right? And so that taking upon yourself, that's the trickery of the mind.
It's called depravity. That's what they
That's
are.
why there was a
Give
time
over.
when these people used to get locked up and put in a mental facility. They done opened up the key to pen. They opened up the box.
Hold on.
Put them back in there.
Hold on. When it comes to history time of these things right here, when it comes to the Neolithic era, or even in the Paleo era, there was no thing of a male and a female messing around with the same sex. It's just when it came to the Homo sapien, all of a sudden now, especially when they start to get civilized, all of a sudden now they're exploring like beasts. When you put laws in effect, that put people in order. Shout out to Leviticus. Kemet fell because of this stuff, the three kingdoms. So when we have to understand about laws, the civil rights laws is saying that you have just as equal rights regardless what you believe in, just don't hurt nobody. I got the same right as you do. And when you're in a country and God that we trust, then that means whatever you believe in, if you know the definition of God, then that's when you can do what you can do, just as long as you're under this law. Shout out to the Romans again. Yes, we know the God in the Bible who we love, that he made male and female. You can tell by what's between your legs. Now, in these days, we in generation going, and let me tell you something about these people with the alphabets. They're playing the Pied Piper. I'm keeping 110. They're playing the Pied
That's
Piper.
what I said.
You dig? So what we think back then, things is different now. And if you don't know what's up with your laws, then what will happen is somebody gonna have to pay the Pied Piper. You know what I'm saying?
They
So
let all the
basically,
people out
that's
there
it on
not
that.
helping.
Laws.
Now they're running the politics.
Let's stay there, because this is one of our last questions. See, we ain't gonna get to our other videos. So let me ask you guys this. So Elijah spoke of like the power and the government structure and the influence that they're having on the people. And let's go to the little people, and we're referring to the children, which is what you refer to as, Elijah, the alpha generation. So
The Alpha generation is a do-over. Generations named by alphabets basically goes by the times of the Romans. Times of the Greeks.
All right, so we got generation. So the generation that is going to supersede all of our generations are the last two. I believe that's Generation Y and A.
All right, Dave, not to interrupt you. When it comes to changing a culture, shout out to hip hop 50 years. When it comes to changing cultures, they always do stuff basically ahead of time of the switch up. But the part that does it is by the way they do their timeline. You dig? So this is where we got generations. So when they do their generation, they already got to fix like the Wizard of Oz. This is how the civilians or citizens or the people of the land is going to perform by the laws. In each generation, laws always switches up. So now you into this generation, which going for the alpha generations, which laws are being developed for the alpha, not for you and I. Our generation, bye-bye. You just got to sit back and watch.
Now stop right there.
Yet, when
now stop
Okay.
right there. Did you or did you not hear the president? Was that the president of Uganda speaking, Gregory?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
He said, we are putting these laws in place for us, our children, and our children's
children.
That's what
In
he
the
said,
better
right?
of humanity.
Now stop right there. Now bear that in mind. So here comes the counter. So if you have another community that, as Elijah spoke earlier, of domination, this community is going to be greater and is going to oppose their will on all other communities. This is
Who says that, Dave? Who says that, Dave? United Nations. That's not true,
all right,
Dave.
but
That's
listen
it.
to what I'm saying. Let's follow what I'm saying. You got
But you
Fear-mongering.
creating a straw man's argument, Dave.
you got a nation that's putting things in place to what they feel to protect their people, right? But they're going to say that those people are wrong for doing what they're doing, right? For making those laws, right? But right here in America,
but Dave, they won't say that, Dave.
let me
because
make my
that's
point
his
though.
land.
Let me make my point. Right here in America, we have things going on where the school curriculum and everything else is being changed so that it does what? Support what community? Y'all are all intelligent individuals. What have we been talking about all night? What does this come back to? LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah, but the laws
Yes,
that are being switched around now ain't supporting that community.
Why
They're
aren't
trying
they?
to take us. It's
They're
because
not.
they
don't want
in
them.
them. It's trying to wipe them out. It's not supporting
Wait
them.
a
It's trying to
minute,
wipe them
that's
out.
not true.
No,
All of them laws they've been making been supporting them since Obama.
All of them laws are
Obama is
supporting
your
them.
first
Listen to me. Listen to me.
president.
Well, he talking about laws that are being made now. They're trying to stamp that out.
Listen, just so I'm clear about, I'm speaking on what Elijah was saying about how things are being put in place so that for the next generation. What I'm telling y'all is these laws that are being put in place is to influence this generation, the generation after them, and the generation after them. But
The
it is
generation after,
benefiting.
Dave.
It is benefiting people that partake in that lifestyle because look what's happening in your public restrooms. What is happening, Gina, with the transgenders about the bathrooms?
They're allowing them to go into.
Isn't that
They're allowing
law? Isn't no, they ain't allowing them to have their own bathroom.
They're allowing them to go into the bathrooms.
Exactly, but that's
hold
a
on,
new law,
Dave.
right?
One of them
But hold
said,
on, Dave.
That's a new
Dave
law,
said,
right?
That is
I
a new
want
law.
little
Yeah.
That is a new
want
law,
little
right?
young people that are
how does that
transgender to use the bathroom.
and how does that impact the future generations? Because if
But
they
Dave,
put that law in place and it sticks, things
Yep.
will change as you know it.
Dave, that's not how laws made, Dave. Laws made out of culture, kid. I'm gonna say this again. Laws is made out of culture, number one. Number two, people was doing that in the clubs. kid. I used to be in the bathroom with a female, and she's using the bathroom, I'm using the bathroom. Shout out to Miami. So it's all about the culture. When they make that culture their lifestyle,
you're
that's
taking
what
it out of you're taking it out of context. What I'm referring to
Nah,
is
no,
we
I'm
have a
not, because
group
I'm
of
still going
people
about
that are
Nigeria. I mean, I'm
that
still going about
enforcing
Uganda.
their will. What I'm
I
saying
just
to you is we have a group of people that are enforcing their will, and then when you have a difference of opinion, you are labeled homophobic. Is that or is that what is taking? Is that not taking place?
That is
In the
taking place.
United States and other countries who don't have the same
All
laws
right,
of
stop right
freedom,
there.
yo,
Stop right
listen,
there.
yo,
or
listen to
whatever you
this.
call
I
freedom.
was trying to tell you, I was watching Ted Cruz. He was it's about what you were saying. Ted Cruz, he was basically talking to these people yesterday in the thing I was watching, and it was basically about them using the bathroom, and he asked them, do you think there is a difference between men and women? And the lady couldn't answer the question because she was supporting transgenders
You
using
know, because
whatever bathroom they want to.
she wanted to remain
She
politically
couldn't.
correct.
She
She don't
basically
want to
couldn't
say.
answer the question. She kept saying there are terms and policies that label people this, that, and the
Exactly.
third. And Ted Cruz kept saying, "No, you're not answering my question with a yes or no answer." So then he asked her, "So why do they make a difference in men's sport and women's sports?"
Which y'all was speaking
And
of
she couldn't
earlier.
answer that question either. And then you had the trans people in the comments saying, I want all the young trans people to be able to use whatever bathroom they want to use. And they're telling these people, so what about the people that dress up like trans people and do pedophile things to people in these bathrooms?
Now, hold on. I'm gonna stop you right there because I'm gonna make this real clear for y'all. I'm gonna simplify this because it seems like we're making this more complicated than what it has to be. I'm gonna ask y'all a simple question. Sean, are you still with us?
Yes, I am.
When you was growing up, what bathroom was you allowed to use?
The boys' room.
As a grown man, what bathroom are you instructed to use?
The men's room.
Can you use the women's bathroom?
Yes, I did
choose
when I
not
was
to.
young.
I'm asking Sean. Sean, can you use the women's bathroom?
If I wanted to, but I don't.
But if there's a woman in there, could you use the women's bathroom?
No.
Okay, stay right there. Keep it that simple. Gina, you are of the younger generation. When you was growing up, what bathroom was you able to use?
The woman's bathroom.
And if there was could you use the boys' bathroom?
No.
If you had to go to the bathroom, would your moms allow you to go in the men's room if there was a man in there?
Absolutely not.
Okay, Kiana, because you know I'm gonna get right to y'all. I'm gonna go to the source. Kiana, would you allow your son to go in the women's bathroom without you?
When he was younger, no.
When your son was growing up, what bathroom did he use?
When he was younger,
when he was a certain age, he used the women's
question.
bathroom. When he was old enough, he used the men's bathroom.
Right.
And
So-
guess
so the
what? I
next
have
time he
stood in the
used the
men's
women's
bathroom to make
bathroom-
sure that nobody was touching my son.
That's right. Stay right there. Deli, you
And I was like, I don't give a shit about a penis. I don't care about you. I'm here for him.
That's
So,
right.
I've been in
Deli,
both.
when you
And I've been
Deli,
to
when
the-
you was growing
when
up,
the line's too long for the female.
Deli, when you was growing up, what bathroom was you instructed to use?
Female bathroom.
Was you allowed to use the men's bathroom?
No.
Would your mother allow you to go into the men's bathroom if there was men in that bathroom, even though you had to go to pee real bad?
Nope. I'd have to go outside and cover up or hide or something like that around the corner, but never in no men's room.
Patsy, same question. What bathroom was you allowed to use when you was growing up?
The women's bathroom?
Was you ever allowed to go in the men's bathroom?
No.
When your mother was with you, and if you had to go to the bathroom and the line was long, the girls' bathroom, the women's bathroom was long, and if there was nobody in the men's bathroom, was you allowed to go in that men's bathroom?
No.
Hell no, because Miss Rector didn't play
Oh,
that.
you know my mom, she's not.
That's right. And if you did go in that bathroom, she was going in there before you. Now,
Right.
Let's go to Tanya. Tanya, would you
Yeah.
allow your daughter and your granddaughters to go in the boys' bathroom?
No.
The men's bathroom?
No.
Would you allow your son to use the women's bathroom?
Yes. My answer is the same as Kiana's answer.
Mm-hmm. With your supervision, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Who we missed? Timmy, would you allow your daughter to go into the men's bathroom?
My daughter came in the men's bathroom with me because I was changing her.
Because you was there, right?
That's right.
Now,
And
I
I went into the women's bathroom with my mother. Cause as a kid, so you are allowed to go in there as a while you young, but when you get older to go in the bathroom by yourself, then you go to your respectable bathroom.
That's right. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Robert, would you allow your beloved daughter to use the men's bathroom? I'll wait.
Before I answer that question, could you hear me?
No. We ain't got time.
No. We're not gonna do the no. Before I answer that question, is this the last question?
This is the last question. Yeah.
All right. So now I'm gonna end it the way I'm trying to end it. I'm gonna answer that, but I'm gonna answer that after I say this to you guys. You gotta remember, God, and I don't want to sound like I'm going against the Bible, think that I'm using something out the Bible or whatever. Just
Right.
respect
That's how
this.
you feel. That's how you feel.
Take
Why
it
you
any way
slaying
you
away
take
your
it.
religious belief?
I'm gonna say this to you. You worry about man on man. You worry about woman on woman. You worry about transgenders. What you should remember first, God made man. And then he said to this man, probably, I don't want you to be bored and alone. So let me break your rib. And I'm going to make a woman out of you. So if you think you see gay tendencies and all of this stuff and the woman's clothed and all of that, that because that really is a man. She just privileged to have babies and all that other shit.
All right, I can't fall. We don't have enough time left in the show to point out.
Understand that your rib.
Listen,
I just want to ask him.
I'm gonna go on about.
I want you to answer the question. You always.
I want to ask him. Do he walk on water?
Yes. Now,
so what? Are all women men now?
No,
We're all men.
I told
the
you
woman is God.
If you really want to say where they came from, now I'll answer the question about the bathroom thing.
Which you were supposed to do initially.
I myself had known to use the man's bathroom because that's who we are, men. You go to the man's restroom. But as I was older, had a few drinks.
Keep it simple.
Signs looked the same to me. I walked in the woman's bathroom. Me and my friend went in there and used it. All we heard was
Exactly. Say no more.
Ran out.
Say
let me tell you what happened.
More.
You want to hear the truth? They ran out. Help! And we ran out and ran down the stairs and ran all the way across the street and hid inside the commons because they was calling the police because we wasn't supposed to be in the women's bathroom. Now, when it goes to taking your child in the bathroom, I have went in the bathroom with my daughter and wasn't moving because I trust no man or woman.
Okay, so that's keeping it simple. Gina, did I ask you, darling?
No.
Ask me what? I'm sorry.
So same question as everybody else. Would you allow your beloved son to go in the woman's bathroom without you?
Without me?
Without you.
No, I wouldn't allow him go anywhere without me. I wouldn't know. I go in there with him, but because they're girls perverts too. I don't know. I don't trust nobody. I'm sorry.
Keep it simple. Keep it simple. So now we got to go to the antagonist of the bunch, Mr. Elijah. Because did I get everybody else? I got everybody else, right?
Yeah, you didn't get me.
You didn't get Gregory.
Gregory, well, you know, that is Mr. Conspiracy. Let's go to him.
I
Then
think
we'll
it
go
just
to
goes back to the moral compass thing. Like Uncle Rob said, if you stumbled in a bathroom accidentally and you know you wasn't supposed to be in there, you knew you was gonna get in trouble if you got caught in that bathroom and you know you're not supposed to be in it because you have morals. You get what I'm saying? So
But was you, keep it simple, was you taught or allowed to use the woman's
that's what I'm no. And I have a son, so I have two sons. So you know they didn't go into the women's bathroom either. So
How
they
you
wouldn't be
know
caught
they
dead
didn't
in the
go in
women's
there with their
bathroom unless
mother?
we trying to get an indecent exposure case. The
How
hell are
you
we
know
doing
they
this?
didn't go in there with their mother?
Now stop.
They had to be
That's
changed.
not, don't take this into another direction. Now let's go to Elijah. Elijah, you still with us? Elijah, are you still?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here. I'm
All
here.
right.
I'm here.
Would you allow any of your beloved daughters to use the men's bathroom without you being present or with you being there, period? Let's keep it simple. Would you allow your young daughter to go into the men's bathroom?
No.
Would you allow your son to use the men's bathroom?
The woman's
Excuse me, the woman's bathroom as a child?
No.
Okay. Now, this is what I'm telling y'all. Y'all don't make this into something more than what it is. That's why I was telling you about these laws and stuff that they're putting in place. Y'all know right from wrong. That's what it comes down to, a matter of right or wrong. It's
Whoa,
not
whoa, whoa,
the
whoa,
fact
whoa,
that
whoa,
you're being
whoa, whoa, whoa,
homophobic.
whoa,
If you have a
whoa.
different of opinion,
Whoa, Dave. No, that's not true. History don't shows that, Dave.
right? I mean,
Again, it's about culture.
but wait,
Our
we don't
culture
have
now is the
time.
boy goes in the
We
boys'
don't have
bathroom.
time to argue the point about culture and history. What I'm telling you is keep it simple. So what I'm saying to you,
You can't, because now you can't. It's switched up now. That was back then. This is today.
listen, there's laws that are being put in place that are benefiting the individuals that are trying to paint the world in their image and tell you that they do not want to be treated differently. They want to be treated like everybody else. But as soon as you disagree with the image that they are painting, you are homophobic. So how is it wrong because you're pointing out the wrong that they are doing? Case in point, the bathroom. How are you going to allow some men to go into a woman's bathroom? Because you know here we go again. You're opening up here.
But if you had a change, then there's a difference. So I mean, I'm not saying I agree. I just feel like make family bathrooms and call it a day. Like,
all right.
No, give them their own bathroom. They're transgender. Give them a transgender bathroom.
But wait,
and
here
they
we
can
go.
stay out of lady
But here
spaces.
we go again, Greg.
And the ones that are in the male
go.
spaces, they can stay out of male
But
spaces.
here we
That
go
just
again.
makes sense.
If you
They
do
got their own
not
category.
want, if you do not want to be treated any different from everybody else, you
That's
don't want to be
homophobic,
singled
Greg.
out. Why do you have to create a bathroom that's so
Because a man is a
unified?
man and a woman is a woman.
No, that's
Exactly.
homophobic.
So wait.
I don't.
That's home.
Listen.
So wait.
But
Let me say
again,
this to you.
if
The
we're
reason-
talking about if as a
You was born
transgender,
a woman or a man.
if you have now changed your sex,
all right,
you would go into the bath associated with the sex you become.
Okay, but Yana,
other people would not.
Let me say this to you.
There's a problem.
Let me say this to you guys, because y'all want to be wearing the tinted rosy glasses, lens, and stuff like that. You know the level of discomfort you about to bring about by allowing this to take place. I'm not saying you per se. I'm saying the government. But because if you allow these individuals to go in there, there's a level of perversion that comes with it. You can have other men whose intention is to do the woman wrong, dressed up as a woman, go into that bathroom. You can't question him, and something bad can happen to the woman in there. And then
you're talking about people who would do that regardless. So
that's what
let's
I'm
not
telling you.
paint that picture.
Well, you why not paint the worst case scenario?
Dave, that's a straw man's argument, Dave. That's a straw man's argument.
No, I was about to say it's either same thing with the sports. Give them their own sports
No,
category.
but they
That
don't
way
You,
we
want to
don't
do
it's
have
that.
to
all
have this
depend what land
conversation.
you
They don't
in.
want
If
to.
you in the United
Right.
States, Dave, listen.
You gonna
You're
let
in the
men
United
compete
States.
against women?
Hold on, G. You in the United States of America. United States. That means you got a constitution, you got amendments. Yet each state has its own laws, legislators and niggas who give them money. Excuse me, people who give them money. When it comes to wherever Virginia, you have to share bathrooms. Don't separate because they're people too. In Massachusetts, there's boys and there's girls. And in clubs, there's unisex. It all depends where you at in the
But
geographic.
those are adults making adult decisions to do that within the club
I
where
got what you
where
say,
they're
but hold on,
drinking,
Dave.
they're
Dave,
partaking in libation
I
and everything like that.
got you. But Dave, hold on. So now you got little boys and little girls feel like they're transgender and they don't feel like going to the boys' bathroom. They feel comfortable going to the bathroom that mommy's going to because they feel like mommy. Now they have to make some type of laws. This is the United States of America. And because of the civil rights laws, when you march because you want something, enough people signed a petition, shout out to marijuana, this is what happens, kid. So when you go back and saying, well,
You can't say honestly ride on those laurels and say this is the state of or
Don't sip the
the
Kool-Aid.
country of United States, because these are the same individuals you talking about the Constitution that they wake up one morning, they decide they want to change stuff to benefit themselves, and that's the same thing that's going on in this situation. Call it
then
for what it
Dave,
is. Right is right and wrong is wrong.
Dave, move to Uganda. Why you are
No,
gay?
I'm not
Oh,
talking about. I'm not talking
This
about
is
that.
Wakanda
This ain't got
forever.
nothing to do. This ain't got nothing to do if somebody is homophobic about. This is about right and wrong. And if y'all start making allowances for certain things, guess what? What is considered to be wrong is going to be right in their eyes. And as long as it's right in their eyes, the people's in positions of authority and their influence, then guess what? It ain't gonna matter what you think.
Okay, Dave.
Where does it
Hold
end?
on, Dave.
Where
Hold
does
on,
it
Dave.
end? Where
Dave,
does it end?
It
Does it end
don't.
at sex
hold on,
or does it
hold
end
on,
at
hold on, hold
race?
on, hold on.
That's my point, Gina. Where
It
does
don't.
it
Where
end?
does it end?
It don't.
It ends when that Son of Man or Jesus Christ, the Christ comes, when he comes, that's where it ends. But what I'm
How does
saying
that?
is this. So
Why? Because we a
what I'm
Christian
saying is
nation?
this. No, it's not. It's basically a Messiah. One dude's going to come. That's why I made it that way. Or whatever you want
What
to call
about
it, or
Project
the shape,
Bluebeam?
whatever. Okay, conspiracy one. But what I'm saying is
Project
this.
Blue Beans.
Dave, when it comes to what's right or wrong, right, kid? When it comes to those laws, kid, it's not about right or wrong. Think it. For 400 years, black people was like 1/5 and it was slaves. They thought that was right. Then the law got written and said it was wrong. That's what's going on now, kids. It's been like that since the founding of the land, dog.
But again,
That's the
Elijah, my point
land
is,
we live in.
all only you're talking about our Constitution and our rights and stuff. They only are right when they serve you. You'll get a right, but it won't be the right. You'll get a right hand and you'll be down for the count. And then they'll tell you that that's right. It's a black eye that comes from a right hand. If you get my point. So I'm just gonna tell y'all, this is one of the situations where I'm telling you, we're gonna
It's
have
a
to
no-win
agree
situation.
to disagree, because
Yeah.
it's like religion. That's what this is becoming. Nobody wants to talk about religion because it turns into an argument. But nobody wants to
Politics
talk
and
about
religion.
everybody
Right.
wants
Politics and
no
religion.
one wants to talk
That's
about
what the
the
politics
wrongs,
about.
what's going on, because people are afraid to say something about a certain individual or a certain group because they're worried about them being canceled.
Well,
Or about
you see
how
what happens. You
individual.
say something
Yeah, I
about
I
think
the.
it
say what
depends
I
on who
want
that
when I
is.
want to
Certain
say it.
people are not
You
afraid
say
to
something
speak
bad
up, and
about the
certain people
Jews.
are.
You see how quick you get canceled.
What?
So,
Hold on, Dave.
so should they make a movement called "Take the Rib Back"?
Hold on, check it
But
out.
I don't know. I think you hungry. You want
Check it
some
out,
ribs. You
Dave.
keep talking about the ribs.
Hey, Dave, let me ask you a question, right? Isn't this a case of eliminating freedom of speech and also stop reproducing so much on this land of the United States of America? Or is it the opposite of people just wanting to be free and do what they like to do without breaking laws?
To simplify
Well, if you had a story that's around the world and these people so supposedly couldn't get to each other and they didn't know how to travel and all that, and they're all telling the same story somewhere along the lines, this story isn't a myth anymore. It's a story about it's something in history that historians
strong.
study. So when
That's
we're
how
getting
strong
to
the
this point where
movement
we're
is.
back to Sodom and Gomorrah of Babylon and we know these stories, it's kind of crazy for you to agree with the stuff that you're saying.
Oh,
Whoa, 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 whoa. This is why listening is an art. I don't agree with anything and all that stuff. I'm just telling y'all this is facts. This is the laws.
I have to agree with him though, because if listening is an art, you need to listen to what you've been spewing. Because if you believe that, then you are contradicting your beliefs. Because you can't say you believe in this and then say, okay, but we gotta allow them to do this.
That's called changing your goddamn mind.
No,
That's called a choice. That's called
I'm
change.
sorry. I don't even think that he said he
Go on,
never
Kate. Get
put
him.
himself in what he believes or not. He just made statements.
Right.
Thank you.
Okay, so
He
let me
definitely did that. He just
okay,
making
all right.
statements.
Let me say this. I said I made my statement based upon who he presents himself to be. Personally, but I know. That's what I'm gonna say. So I know he presents himself as a believer, as a God-fearing man. So this is what I'm saying. There's certain points that you are arguing, whereas the Bible is concerned, or you're making points and stuff. But
yeah, you were saying that's not proven.
Okay,
that's not a fact.
Hold on. Let me show you. Let me explain something. Something make it clear.
All right, hold on, guys. Hold on. Because we about to go. All right. Let's just.
That's where this topic
Wait.
goes.
We're gonna end the show. Guys. Tonight we talked about is this is crazy because we go into a whole nother show. Is Generation X more homophobic than Generation Y and Generation Z and Generation Y, and so be it. Now, just to end the show, I just want one yes or no. Kiana, is Generation X more homophobic than the preceding generations?
It can be construed that way.
So you believe that we are or we aren't?
We could be, yes.
Okay, Gina.
I don't know if we are or aren't.
Gina, is Generation X more homophobic than the other generations?
Yes, absolutely.
That's a sounding yes. Patsy, is Generation X more homophobic than the other generations?
Yes, I think so.
Deli, are you still with us there? I think we lost Deli. Tanya, are you still with us?
I'm here.
Do you think Generation?
I'm gonna say no.
You're gonna say no?
Yeah.
You're gonna say no. Sean, do you think the Generation X is more homophobic than the other generations?
Not now, no.
Not now? Okay.
Nope.
That's safe. I mean, these are y'all's answers. Elijah, do you think Generation X is more homophobic than the other generations?
No.
No. All right. Gregory, do you think the Generation X is more homophobic than the other generations?
X taught Z and Z made Y. Yes.
Timmy?
No.
You don't. And I believe, Robert, you are the last person. Do you believe that Generation X is more homophobic than other generations?
All right, I'm going to try to take us out of here.
I said yes or no.
Listen to me carefully.
We've been listening to you.
God said, and you can find that shirt at emporiumplus.org where you will find the latest fashions. From Emory Forever, Still a Man, S.A.M. Support our sisters, Adoptive Parish and Adoptive Parish Ladies First. If this discussion that we are having today or that we had today bothered anybody, I think God should come down for the second coming, third coming, or fourth coming. Take back his rib, start all over again, and create woman in the form of woman instead of outside the man's body. Instead of taking from the man, creating a woman, he should have made a woman all by herself like he did man. And we probably today wouldn't be discussing transgender.
That's European philosophy, though, Uncle Rob. I gotta say that.
I like how you question what God should be doing.
This has been the Still a Man podcast. Thank you guys for coming. God bless you. Good night.